Hello and welcome to this overview and tutorial video for the Operation and Maintenance Program Development Tool. My name is Ben O'Donnell and I worked on the development of this tool with the team at Washington State Department of Commerce. In this video, I will be going over what the Operation and Maintenance Program Development Tool is and what it's used for. This includes a review of the key features of the O&M Program Development Tool, and I will be giving you a brief tutorial on its use. This video is higher level, intended to show you the ways the O&M Program Development Tool may be useful to you or your organization. I will not be diving into the weeds of exactly how to fill it out. For that more detailed guide, I do want you to be aware that a separate, longer step-by-step guide will be released alongside this video. So if you are, let's say, a facility operator and you are looking to learn how to enter your equipment into the O&M Program Development Tool, please see that longer follow-up detailed tutorial video. The O&M Program Development Tool is an Excel-based spreadsheet that can be used to plan for operation and maintenance activities for HVAC equipment, lighting, and envelope at a building. It was developed to support building owners to comply with Washington State's Clean Building Performance Standards, Section 6, Operation and Maintenance Requirements, and Normative Annex L, Operation and Maintenance Implementation. The O&M Program Development Tool has several unique features and capabilities. And remember that ultimately this is just a spreadsheet. When you use the spreadsheet, you will be asked to enter your equipment information for your building. You will select an appropriate category from a list of 33 different equipment types, and from there the O&M Program Development Tool will provide you with a list of maintenance activities that applies to that piece of equipment. For instance, if you entered one exhaust fan, the O&M Program Development Tool will provide you with the minimum inspection and maintenance requirements for HVAC fans applied to the one exhaust fan that you entered into the spreadsheet. And these inspection and maintenance tasks conform to the minimum requirements from Table 5 out of ASHRAE Standard 180-2018, which covers the standard practice for inspection and maintenance of commercial building HVAC systems. The O&M Program Development Tool is also flexible. So let's say that there's an exhaust fan that you entered that has some special additional maintenance tasks, or maybe some of the typical maintenance tasks don't apply for that fan. In both of these cases, you will be able to add your own custom maintenance activities or remove typical activities that do not apply in your specific case. In addition to these HVAC maintenance tasks, the O&M Program Development Tool also includes a list of typical inspections and checks for the building envelope and lighting. The building envelope has to do with effective air tightness and sealing for windows, doors, and other potential areas of air intrusion. The lighting has to do with the functionality of automatic lighting controls, lighting power density, and luminaire and lamp cleanliness. The O&M Program Development Tool spreadsheet is an effective tool for planning and keeping records of maintenance activities. The O&M Program Development Tool is most useful to facility managers, building operations teams, energy managers, and maintainers, both in-house and contracted. Okay, now I'm going to show you what the O&M Program Development Tool looks like and how it works. This will be a simplified tutorial just to give you a broad overview and understanding it at a high level. And I do encourage you to watch this presentation in full screen mode so that all text on screen is legible. Full screen mode should be accessible in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. Okay, when you open the spreadsheet, the first thing you see is the Instructions tab, which I am showing here. You can navigate this spreadsheet using the tabs. They include from left to right, Instructions, Building Information, Organization Personal Contact Information, HVAC Inventory, HVAC Standard Tasks, HVAC Custom Tasks, and the building envelope and lighting. Please note that the instructions should be reviewed by the main users of the spreadsheet before you begin. There are additional instructions below what I have on screen. Additionally, each individual page includes further guidance and instructions. Here you can see the formatting legend, which I am showing you from the Instructions tab. This formatting applies to all tabs throughout the spreadsheet. The red outline means that you are supposed to enter something. When you enter something properly, it will revert to normal text formatting. When you encounter yellow highlight cells, it is not required. So if you do not fill out the yellow highlight cells, it's okay because they're not required cells. If a cell turns bright red or provides a bold red text, it means that there is an error or alert that you need to resolve. When you see this red triangle in the corner of a cell, hover your mouse over, and additional notes will appear. Lastly, I do want to point out that by default, the spreadsheet has hidden some columns and rows that are not always used. If you look on your MS Excel headings, which are the letters across the top or the numbers along the side, you will see this plus symbol. When you click this, it will unhide any columns or rows that may be hidden. And here you can see an example of an Excel note appearing. On screen in this example, I have hovered my mouse over equipment type, and because we have this red triangle right here, indicating that we have a note in Excel, this is what you see. This box appears with the list of acronyms which supports the instructions for this cell. So next, here we are on the Building Information tab. On this tab, you will need to enter your building information and ownership and management contact information. This is pretty straightforward. However, I do want to note that there is one field on here that affects other cells on other tabs, and that is this cell right here, A3 short name. What you enter here will affect the unique equipment ID number on the HVAC inventory. The Washington State Building ID is a specific ID issued by the Department of Commerce for certain buildings, especially related to programs like the Clean Buildings Performance Standard. You would find this ID in the initial notification letter and Clean Buildings portal. The UFI, or Unique Facility Identifier, is a unique code assigned to each state-owned or leased facility in Washington's facilities inventory. Next tab is contact information, including qualified personnel and authorizing parties. Now, column B1 here, organization, what you enter here will comprise of your available options as drop-down choices on other tabs. The rest of this is just informational, but we recommend keeping this updated as a best practice when using the O&M program development tool. The next tab is the HVAC equipment inventory. I'm showing you an example of the HVAC inventory with 3 pieces of equipment that I have added to give you an idea what it looks like. So you enter a name that you want to give each equipment that you want to include in the spreadsheet. You enter this in the equipment facility ID. For instance, I entered EF1, EF2, and Boiler 1 in this column. The next column, equipment type, is a drop-down menu. You will pick the type of equipment here. And quickly, the list of available choices for this dropdown are shown on this page here. The equipment service type is a dependent drop-down menu. You can pick the service type here, but if you're not sure, just pick the other category until you can confirm the correct type. The equipment service type column does not influence HVAC standard tasks, so it's okay if you don't know this right away. The equipment year installed and status are also required inputs. And please note, I am not showing additional optional columns to the right. If you answer the optional filtering questions, it will exclude certain tasks based on your inputs. So for instance, if I say no to this question, does the fan use variable frequency drive? It will then exclude all tasks that will only apply to variable frequency drives for that fan. The filtering questions are optional fields, and they are the only optional input in the spreadsheet which affects other cells and formatting. All other optional inputs have no dependencies at all throughout the spreadsheet. And once again, here's the list of 33 different equipment types plus the other category. It covers equipment for different types of air and water distribution systems like fans, pumps, air handling units. It covers heating and cooling plant equipment like boilers, chillers, cooling towers, and a wide variety of terminal equipment and other ancillary equipment. We are aware that some of these items aren't really HVAC, like all 3 of these on-site generation types right here, cogen, fuel cell, and solar photovoltaic, and these 2 types of energy storage, including electric and thermal energy storage types. However, the spreadsheet simply treats these equipments as equipment like any other machine or component, and they are lumped in with the rest of the HVAC equipment. And this is the HVAC Standard Task tab. This is what it looks like when you enter those 2 exhaust fans and 1 boiler from the last example. This will automatically populate based on the list and types of equipment you entered on the HVAC Inventory tab. These tasks are sourced from Table 5 from ASHRAE Standard 180. As you can see, for exhaust fan 1, we have this equipment unique ID, which includes the short name from Building Info tab and the name and install date of each piece of equipment. You will see a list of tasks that apply to this fan. The yellow column here is what you use to remove inspection tasks that do not apply for your specific scenario. There are quite a few columns that you must scroll to the right to see. We can see the inspection task, maintenance task, corrective action, but we also have other columns including condition indicators, performance objectives, inspection frequency, party responsible for performing the task, authorizing party, and columns for tracking the individual maintenance activities by date. Next, I'm showing you the HVAC Custom Task tab. On this tab, you can create your own customized tasks according to the specific manufacturer's requirements or unique facility requirements. One thing that I will point out is that these first 2 columns require you to select from options on your HVAC inventory. So you will need to tie any tasks that you list here on the Custom Task tab to the specific equipment, which will appear alongside the standard tasks on the HVAC Standard Task tab. If you want to entirely define all maintenance activities yourself, you should create a new equipment on the inventory and assign it to the other category. In the example I am showing on screen, I am showing how I added a riding lawnmower to the HVAC inventory. Now, as you know, a lawnmower is not a standard HVAC equipment type from the drop-down choices, but using the Custom Task tab, we can define any task we want. I recommend reviewing the manufacturer's recommended O&M requirements from the Operation and Maintenance Manual for each piece of equipment and add any special requirements to this Custom Task tab. The envelope has to do with air tightness, weather stripping, and sealing of the building shell, including windows, doors, and other air pathways. We recommend that the energy manager and/or other qualified persons perform an inspection of the envelope typically once every 3 years. The lighting tab includes 3 things. Firstly, it verifies that lighting controls are functioning as intended. This includes sensor or control operation, programming, and placement of sensors. Second, it includes luminaire integrity, also known as lighting power density or LPD for short. The intent behind the luminaire integrity is that anyone with the lighting floor plan should be able to fill this out. You do need to refer to the as-built lighting schedule to determine the comparison lighting power density. The third thing for lighting is luminaire cleanliness, which is shown below the LPD table, not shown on screen currently. All 3 of these lighting activities are recommended to take place every 3 years. And that concludes the simplified tutorial. As a reminder, another longer video is released alongside this one, which goes into greater detail step by step with examples. The learning objectives for this longer tutorial are shown on screen here. Please watch that video next if you would like to learn how to add and log maintenance activities specific to your facility. Thank you. Once again, my name's Ben O'Donnell, and we will see you in the next video.